So, potential for trigger warning and cat interruptions. This is Groucho. He's free to a good home if you can pay for the vet bills and shipping. Um, he's lovely. He drools. He gets overexcited. He's also an ADHD affectionate cuddler. So, the idea of like just holding still and petting, no. You have to constantly be petting him, and he has to constantly be moving, and occasionally claws. And I'm going to put in the community section. We had a little coffee accident, so I had to drink some more of that so it didn't spill all over the rest of the table. And then, of course, the kittens decided, ooh, tasty, I like it. So, yeah, figured I'd give an update. It's been stressful, it's been busy, and then lots of unexpected things that can go wrong have been going wrong. You know, bad enough I burnt my hand, and then there were kittens, and then they got devoured, and it's been intense. And then cats. Okay. Yes, I love you. So it's just been lots of feels in every direction, and trying to get as much done before my 21-year-old moves out. So 2 weeks of, actually almost 3 weeks of nonstop activity, which is not good for my system because I need to rest and I overload easily. And so there was also the high heat and trying to do garden work, trying to get stuff out of the house and finding out that if you want to take things to the dump, you have to have a special pass. And like nowhere does it say that you have to have a pass. And everyone just assumes, oh, you already know everything that needs to happen. Like, no, I don't know shit. Yes, I love you. Yes, you're a good boy. Yes. And trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to get food? How am I going to get laundry? Because my washing machine has been dead for years. So basically my son would take our laundry or whatever to a friend's house, spend the weekend with them, get the laundry done at their house. And otherwise I have to do it in the tub. And that means that I have to have the strength to be able to, do that because it hurts my back and wet things are kind of difficult to wring out yourself. And then you have to have good weather outside so that it can dry. And he'd be so much easier if he would just hold still and just, be a lap cat. No. You gonna hold still? And to think, he used to be terrified of me. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, wait, you're comfy. You give good rubs. He's very, very addicted to attention and affection. So yeah, it's been a challenge. And so these last 2 weeks, my son has been away. I mean, he came back at one point, but he's been away basically to help his partner move into their new apartment, before his partner starts school, so that way they could have some time to spend together for my son's birthday, which is in the middle of September when the school start, period is, and he doesn't want to interrupt his partner's studies. And his partner's seriously stressed over, how school's going to go and, the new university stuff. So he had to come back, and so he was able to take me grocery shopping last weekend, but he won't be here this weekend, and he's like 5 hours away. And I'm struggling to find someone who can, help, because the theory is, yeah, neighbors, ask the neighbors, ask friends. Yeah, the neighbors don't like me, no matter what I've done, no matter how nice I've been. And they are horrible examples of humanity. And so I've given up on them. And I'm pretty sure that when I do finally find a way to move out of this house, they're going to blame me for putting a curse on them. Just because all of the cats that I have, if I leave cat food out for them at night, all the slugs and the snails in the area come and eat my cat food. And, they lick the plate clean and everything like that. And so the last couple of years, the gardens in the area around have been pretty much slug and snail free. When I leave, there's going to be no one to feed anybody. So they're going to go back to eating the plants, and it's going to feel like a, witch's curse. And they probably already think I'm a witch since it looks like a jungle garden over here and everything like that. So, yeah. Just nature. It is what it is. I don't curse people. I'll curse you with happiness. That's more of a blessing anyway. Although the whole concept of living in interesting times, yeah, that's kind of a weird curse. But, yeah, so I have to figure out how to get food. And so I know that there's an organization that I'm supposed to be inscribed in. The problem is I don't know how long that inscription lasts. Um, and I tried calling them up today because I finally found out where the number is so I can call someone, because I can't find anything. And people will tell me stuff, but they won't write it down. They won't send it in emails. They won't put it in areas where I can remember it. They just like offhandedly go, "Oh, well, don't you know about this organization?" Long string of letters that I can't remember. You poor kitten. Kitten wanted to climb up in the chair that I'm using for a footrest, and there's a little bag that I use to transport all of my stuff. And the bag is empty, but he pulled it down on himself. He's a lover. Um, but yeah, so I have a terrible fear of making phone calls in general, mainly because of the fact that, well, I mean, most of society right now, oh my God, can it be done in an email? Can it be done in a text? I don't want to talk on the phone. So there's that. But then again, I also have a problem with my ear. Both of my ears, I can hear the high and I can hear the low, but that mid range is difficult. And so it's hard to hear, and my phone isn't the best quality. So that makes it even worse. And then if other people don't enunciate what they're saying or speak directly into the phone, because it's in another language, I can't always catch the sound to associate with a word. So I can't always understand them. And then they get pissy at me because I'm saying, look, I can't understand you. Can you say it again? Can you rephrase it? And then there's the concept of, I have no idea what you're talking about because it's not my language. And they assume that all words must obviously translate to the same thing. And so if I speak well enough in French and my accent is good enough, then I should be able to understand them perfectly fine, which I can't. So that kind of complicates things and sends me into a panic attack. And because of the fact that I can't find the information I need, because sometimes they don't put it on websites, so it's not like anyone tells you, okay, so to use this service, which is a volunteer program that's run by the local area, you have to be inscribed. You have to see if there's a volunteer available and they can drive you somewhere, wherever you need to be, whatever, within a limit, for, X amount of price, real dirt cheap, right? And, but they don't explain any of that. And they don't explain how any of it works. They said something about insurance, and I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? I don't understand. And so and they couldn't find me in the system, so obviously I need to be reinscribed. Fun. And of course, the lady in charge of my money, who is basically a higher up representation, different organization, but basically a higher up social worker, she's like, oh, well, just call this number. Finally gives me the number. You're inscribed. It'll be a lot cheaper than a taxi. Yeah, no, duh. Because I was talking about trying to get a taxi for my son for different stuff that was going on, and a taxi from where I live to Poitiers, which is like if you went to the train station directly, that's maybe 45 minutes, driving distance. So that would cost easily 100, easily, probably 120, because taxis aren't a thing here. And when you're in a big town like the DC metro area, anywhere in Maryland, stuff like that, 30, 40 minutes. I mean, I remember Domino's commercials. We'll get you your pizza in 30 minutes or less. Yeah, which means, approximately 30 kilometers or 30 miles away, whatever. And it's like, so I'm technically within driving distance of all kinds of stuff. And they charge an arm and a leg because it's out in the middle of nowhere. So I'm struggling, and they'll call me back tomorrow, or maybe they'll get an email, something about an email to me. And the problem with that is that it took like 6 different tries to get her to, hear the letters that I was pronouncing for my name, first and last. 6 different times to try and pronounce to get my email correctly. And I enunciate my words really well in French. So the fact that she was hearing a C instead of a T, or she was hearing this, that, and the other thing, whatever, it's just like frustrating. And I'm already in a panic because I need to be able to know that I can get someone available to take me shopping during the days that the stores are open, because most stores are closed, completely closed on Sunday. The few that are open on Sundays are only open until about noon, some of them until 1. And it's like, I can't afford to go without groceries. So I have to make sure that I have enough food for all the cats. I have to make sure I have enough food for all of the humans. And and I can't guarantee that I will. So there's a chance that I may have to walk 7 kilometers one way to be able to get groceries and bring back whatever I can carry, which is totally dependent on what the weather is like. Thankfully, it's cooling down. I can wear my hoodie. So that helps keep me cooler when I'm walking so I don't overheat and potentially have a stroke. But it's 7 kilometers, which takes me 2 hours to walk, which isn't bad. And it's uphill, down dale, over the river, through the woods, past several grandmothers' houses. I mean, literally, like it's across, horse paths and tractor paths and virtually no sidewalk. Like maybe a fifth of it is sidewalk. The rest of it is just road and huge hills and downhills, and it's a pretty walk. And 2 hours isn't bad. But when you're trying to walk that back, carrying stuff, I mean, I've carried up to like, what, 30 kilos? 30 kilos is roughly 70 pounds, I think. I've done up to 40 kilos too when I actually measured out how much, not just... cat, please don't fall, don't hurt me. You have claws. Thank you. Got a little overexcited. But I've carried like... I think numerically speaking, per volume of the items, should have been like, 30, 35 kilos. But when you add in metal cans and the extra weight of packaging, it went up to 40, 42. And that's a lot to carry. That's a lot to drag in a little, wheelie cart type thing that has wheels that at one point tried falling off, several times actually. And it's just... and 16 can't really help me very much because of the fact that he doesn't have the inserts in his feet and he's got flat feet. And since he's been changing sizes and we can't get to the doctors, I don't even have his doctor information. I don't have the podiatrist information. I got nothing. I have to beg for any kind of information. And I still haven't gotten alimony for him being here. And he's been here, next June will be 2 years. So I haven't gotten anything. So that's a lot to carry. And the best I can hope for is him meeting me on the path as I'm coming back. Typically, when I do those runs where it's like 20 to 30 kilos, it takes me 3 to 5 hours to return, depending on how many breaks I need. And it's just like, it's damaging my body. The more stressed out I get, the more hot it is. The more elevated my heart rate gets, the more it puts me at risk of a stroke. So there's a chance that I may have to do 2 shopping trips, walking. And I don't want to do it again. I've got videos on Instagram proving that I can do it. I don't want to do it again. I shouldn't have to work this hard just to exist. And everyone keeps looking at me like I'm the problem when they keep taking away my options. They keep putting more problems on my shoulder, and they don't want to do their job. And it's just like, what am I supposed to do? I mean, I'm all for my son, eventually moving out. I'm all for him having a life of his own because I want him to be happy. And his partner is amazing. I love that little one. I shouldn't say little one, considering pretty much everybody's taller than me. Except for you, Kat. You're shorter than me. But that's okay. I love you anyway. Yes. Are you bleeping? Did you bleep? I don't know. I love you too. You're shorter than me too, but I love you. Although Bruce can jump almost as high as I am, and I'm 5 foot. You wouldn't think that since he's a little dog. But it's just like, okay, would you like a treat? Would you like a treat? All right. Have a peanut. No, I'm not throwing the ball. You can wait. I'm not. Have a peanut. Oh, you little brat. Yes, I love you. No. No. I'm tired. And that's one of the things that really bothered me about the court system, because of the fact that my ex was trying to say that I'm clingy and that I am trying to stop my boys from having a life. And it's like, excuse you? I'm finding out that my ex-husband is a TERF, but I'm the bad person. I'm just so tired of this. I want to go home. Everything is so much more complicated than it should be. I mean, right now, I should be celebrating. I should be so excited that my son is moving out, and it should be finalized by October. I should be excited that, you know, he's taking some of the stuff, you know, that we have in the house, so that way they don't have to buy new stuff. And, you know, he's also taking extras that he can sell. That way he has a little bit of starting cash for anything that I don't have, but they need. I should be celebrating the fact that, you know, it'll free up more space in the house, so that way we can move things around and clean properly and reorganize and whatever. And it's like, nope, I am stuck being terrified of, how do I get food? How do I get laundry? And I'm trying to control that terror and figure out how to make this work. And I'm so exhausted. And I don't know how to get help. I don't know what to say. I don't know who to say it to. Because, like, if I write letters to people, if I'm lucky, I get a reply that's a rejection. You know? And if I write to, like, institutions that, you know, teach all kinds of subjects and stuff like that, where they have a whole bunch of students available that, you know, that are adult students, you know, not just, you know, young students, but adult ones that could, you know, easily practice their skills with my situation, and help organize it and help, you know, find me contacts and stuff like that, or base minimum, just get me networking. Yeah, sorry, that's not what we do. We can't help you. Because they think I'm asking them to solve my situation. And it's like, if I write to the what is it, the Raoul Wallenbergen Institute, the whole thing was set up by a dude who saved a bunch of German or Jewish kids, you know, from the Nazi invasion and everything. And their whole purpose is trying to figure out, you know, human rights and better ways to protect human rights, and you know, on all the different subjects and categories that fall into the human rights. And where is the class? Where is the group that's talking about people like me? Because I know I'm not the only one. I found some chick in Germany. But where are the ones that are protecting the rights of others that have no one? Because I should be able to write to all the different women's groups and children, you know, children protection groups and blah blah blah, and I've been rejected by all of them, or at least all the ones I've been able to find. And a lot of people don't understand what it's like dealing with psychological abuse and being traumatized. I mean, I started following Dr. Glenn Patrick Doyle, and he's lovely. And he's got a lot of insight. He's good at what he does, and he also comes from a perspective of having been there, which makes a huge difference, because a lot of psychologists and psychiatrists and all that, they haven't been there. So they're basically talking out of their ass. They may know the material, they may know all of that, but it's like, you know, a lot of people saying, you know, well, a surgeon should learn what it feels like to get shot, so that they know how to deal with someone who has been shot, to remove, you know, and do whatever surgery is necessary. Most therapists just talk out their ass. They know the work, they know the concept, but they don't know what it feels like. And he gets it. He gets it. And I would love to talk with him, professionally speaking and personally speaking, because he seems like a cool kind of guy. Seems like my kind of people. Could probably keep up with my brain. But I don't know what to do. Every time I try doing something, I get blocked, I get rejected. No matter how much I keep advancing and trying to organize and staying calm and trying to figure out what to say and how to say it in a way that people won't ignore. And I get rejected. If I get a reply. If. Usually I get ignored. Whether that's because it just goes to their spam folder, or because they read it and they just go, whatever. I don't know. But I get ignored. And thanks to the algorithms, anyone on my friends list on Facebook where I shared, the how to help, video and stuff like that, unless I specifically did certain things to get people's attention, it just didn't show up in their feed. So they didn't see it. So they don't know. And even those that I specifically talked to about it, there's no guarantee they'll actually look. And it hurts. I've detached from the whole concept of these are my friends because it's a one-sided thing. But I have not detached from the fact that I am a member of society. And if they go around posting all of these, oh, I support this and I support that, and going to rallies and going to this and going to that and trying to make the world a better place, and they know that I need help, that I am a member of humanity, that I am a member of community, I am a member of their awareness, and nothing. It hurts. It really hurts that I get more kindness, sometimes misguided kindness, but I get more kindness and empathy from random strangers. And yet I still can't figure out how to get us out of here. And what am I supposed to do if I have to be forced to stay here till December, January, February? What if I can't find something in place to guarantee that I have groceries? Right now, this time, it's doable. I hate it. This time is doable. But if I have to keep doing it, that's just going to push my son closer and closer to suicide. And that's going to make his rage even more palpable, and it's going to push him over the edge. And I'm so tired. And it's sapping everything that I am, and it's blocking me from being anything that I could be. And I'm tired. But I'm not allowed to give up hope. And I'm not allowed to stop. Unfortunately, I have no idea what to talk about in these videos because I'm just so stressed. At least the sun feels good and it's not burning me. The heat waves in France have been huge. And they do damage. You couldn't cool the house down at certain points, even at night. There's just no wind. I can't spend another year here. I can't. And I don't want to be here for my birthday in October. I want to be out of here. I don't want to spend Christmas here and have it mean even less than it already does. I would like to start celebrating Christmas. I'd like to start celebrating birthdays. And it's just so hard to stay motivated, to stay positive, and I don't have a choice. That's all I have to do. Stay motivated, stay positive, keep hoping, keep pushing, keep doing something. I'm frustrated. I'm tired. Which is why it would be really friggin' helpful if people could point me to someone who can ask me questions so that I can focus, so that I can give answers, because I don't know where to talk. I don't know what to it's just so big. Because it's not just it's not just my ex. And I question if I'm actually legally divorced for him, because the whole lu et approuvé. Non, j'avais pas lu, j'avais pas approuvé, mais quand même j'ai besoin d'écrire cette merde. Et c'est faux. Putain, c'est faux. Sorry, lu et approuvé means read and approved. And you're supposed to sign that at the end of a lot of different paperwork, whatever it is that you're trying to sign. And the thing is that you know, they rush you through it. They don't explain anything that's on any of it. Don't give you a chance to read any of it. You just have to sign here, initial there, write loué approuvé here, put the location that you're writing it in, you know, and if it's, you know, Poitiers or wherever, or Nouvelle-Aquitaine, or if you know, and then you have to put the date. How is that legal? To just have paperwork, shove, sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here. Oh, well, we kind of talked about it, we kind of covered it, so therefore it shouldn't matter what you're signing. Yeah, well, that's what they constantly have you doing. Don't even, ugh, I hate it here. Constantly feeling scammed. I need help. And 16 needs help. My animals need help. I don't know how to find it. I don't know what to say. It's just so big, because it's not just my ex. It's the courts. It's the notary. It's the hospital. It's all of the medical people that I've had to deal with outside of the hospital. It's the schools. It's just huge. It's LUDAF, which is the higher up version of the social services, plus the social services, plus the social workers. Because the social work services is the CAF and the RSA, or RSA. It's all of them. They're all constantly screwing me over. It's big. If it was just my ex, it would be so much easier. It's not just him. And it's killing me. And I don't want to die here. So I could really use some help. I could use some engagement. I could use some networking. I could use some kindness. I could use some people taking me seriously. Ask questions. Give me focal points. Give me something to talk about so that I can explain it. Bug no claiming on me. So yeah, thanks for listening.